Hey, it's about 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. You just heard them. You text that word jackpot to 200. You're in the running to get a ticket, a freebie to the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, being held on the 23rd and 24th of September. Now, it's sold out, and we're going to have up to 10 a day winners for the getting involved with this music festival to become instant finalists, including running to get the VIP slot, which is huge. So check it out on 95WXTK.com or on iHeartRadio.com/festival. Now, this is going to be held at 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, then all afternoon on the hour. Texting to 200. But right now it's 200 with the word jackpot. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? I'm Ed Lambert. Good to have you on board. I'm with Linda Bond. Linda is one of the Republicans running for county commissioner. The county commissioners, there are 3 seats. 2 are up for grabs right now. There are 4 people in the running. 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats. Good morning, Linda, as a Republican. Good to see you again, by the way.
Great. Hi, Ed. Thank you very much for having me in the studio.
We saw Linda last week down at the Falmouth Road Race. You were down there with some signs, and we saw you over at Wendy's, and helping out and doing everything. Good to see you again. Yep. Tell people who you are. And then I got a couple of questions for you. 1 or 2 adjectives, but tell people a little bit about yourself, Linda.
Oh, okay, great. I have lived here in the Cape for the past 10 years full-time. Prior to that, my brothers had a cottage down here for 35 years, so I have vacationed down here with my now twin boys, who are 32 years old. I'm a proud mother of a 10-month-old grandson.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ed. It's everything and plus more that they said it would be, being a grandmother. One of the reasons why I have decided to jump into this election time is because of my grandson and his future. I believe that the position that I'm running for is not a political position. It is a managerial position, and that's where my strengths are. I've been in the food and beverage industry for over 30 years, and I feel that experience that I have would be great for the county.
Part of a major portion of this, you say it's not politics, it's managerial. I like that. I like looking at it that way. But it's also dealing with people. All sorts of different characters, from the Assembly of Delegates to other county commissioners. And there's been in the county commissioners in the past, there's been a little bit of a tug on personalities and stuff like that. The men and the women. You say it's not political, it's managerial. Tell me how you get along with people.
Yeah, being also in the restaurant management industry, you worked with a lot of people, not only were from my employees down to the customers that came into your restaurant. I'm a people person. I love people. I get along with everybody. I was always the type of manager that worked with my staff. I never put myself above them. I was a working manager. I had great respect for my staff to the point where I had people coming to me asking, are you all set on your schedule? Because if you need somebody, I will help you. Whereas anybody that's made schedules know how hard it is sometimes to fill your schedules. So I had great respect, and I believe I can bring that. One
of the things I noticed in talking and looking a little bit about you is the fact that you had, that you were owner, operator, and a head teacher for several daycare centers. And talking about dealing with people, you must have had to deal with parents quite a bit on that, on the daycare center. So that probably lends it more than anything else to, oh my God, how did you get along with them? You know?
Yes, it does. Of course it does, because that parent is putting their child in your responsibility. And those, again, were some of the most great years of my life working with children. I love kids. I really believe in their future and really making them be very well-rounded citizens. So, yes.
One of the things, there are 2 adjectives that you use quite a bit, new and fresh. Tell us why someone should be voting for you, new and fresh, not someone with all the experience or whatever else. Why new and fresh?
Well, I just think just exactly what new and fresh means. I'd be in there making some different decisions, looking at things differently. I'm going to be a very proactive county commissioner. I'm going to be visiting the different programs that we oversee, making sure that everything is running smoothly. I'm also going to be making sure that the monies and the grants that go to these programs are going to be used properly. I spoke with our new county administrator yesterday, Jack Units, and they're going to be putting together a nice coalition of people to be vetting the grants and making sure, again, that they're going properly to the right.
You guys got an awful lot of money in Barnstable County. Where does the money come from?
It comes from the real estate, the deeds in town, from when people sell houses and the deed tax That's mainly where the bulk of the money comes from.
The the county government sort of rises and falls with the real estate market here on Cape Cod.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's why I think in the past the previous commissioners should have seen that coming down the road. With the population in the Cape has declined, so I think they should have been putting that into their when you're balancing the budget. You have to look ahead to know what monies would be coming in.
15 towns make up Barnstable County, Linda. Those towns, a big part of county government and county of the Barnstable County is the Cape Cod Commission. By legislature, they're formed. They were a planning group. Now they're a planning group with an awful lot of muscle. An awful lot of their budget comes not only from you guys control the Cape Cod Commission in such of hiring and firing. They work at the pleasure of the county commissioners. How does money get into the Cape Cod Commission?
We allot them a certain amount of money every year. I believe it is $250,000. It's written up for a 3-year contract so that they get it allotted that way, as far as I understand.
And each and every town on Cape Cod has to then also pay the Cape Cod Commission, do they not?
I'm not too sure on that, Ed. And the Cape Cod Commission is very separate from the county commissioners. We really are a separate entity from them. We do work together, like you said, because a lot of their zoning and the projects that they do affect the county. But we really don't have control over any hiring and firing in the commission.
Other than the executive director?
No, we only hire our own county administrator. The two responsibilities that a county commissioner has is balancing that budget and hiring and firing our county commissioner, which was just hired, which is our Jack Eunice now. Yeah.
508-775-9985, our toll-free phone number, 1-888-WXTK-95-1. There are really two branches to Barnstable County. One is the executive branch, which you're running for, county commissioners, and the other is a legislative branch, the Assembly of Delegates. Part of, and in talking to other county commissioners, Leah Kakunas over the years and others, an awful lot of people that live here have no freaking clue what you guys do and why you do it.
Exactly.
And how do you get the word out? How do you get more out into the real people and talking about, you've got health and environment, cooperative extension, human services, finance, resource development, all these things that are out there, and an awful lot of people that aren't, quote, tuned in to the political end of things of what's happening really have no clue.
Exactly what you just said to everybody out there, all the listeners. You're explaining all the different programs the county oversees, and that's the message I'm getting out there. It is the first question I get asked when I'm telling people what I'm running for, is they say, well, what is county government? It's been very confusing. So my first order of duty is to educate everybody on county government. And I do bring up the great programs that the county is providing and the value to it. And I believe that the people that I speak to really then see and understand it and know the value, and they want it to stay here. We don't want any of these programs to go off and be in control up at Beacon Hill. I know years ago we lost our welfare. We had control of that, and now that's gone. So I really do not want any of these other programs to leave our control.
It's interesting you say that. I'm talking to Linda Bond, everybody. She's running for county commissioner, Republican running for county commissioner, and you got a primary coming up in a couple of short weeks from now. One of the things that people talk about is that we're spending, $32 million on county government, and how many other counties within the Commonwealth of Massachusetts still have county government? Because a lot of them were abolished a few years back.
Yes, they were, Ed. Yes, they were. I think there's only actually one more county that's still running. And you'll notice on that piece of information I gave you, they said that Barnstable County has been here since 1658, I believe. It's one of the oldest counties in the United States. So that's pretty cool. So I think just in that fact, we need to keep it going.
One of the things people said, we got to have county government because we're an island.
Correct.
And in so many different places in Massachusetts, they might consider themselves an island, but everybody blends together, except for out in the Housatonic area, out in the Berkshires, whole different world out there.
Yes.
Primary job that you said is to educate people, but when you see coming in, you're in office, day one, what do you need to do as county commissioner?
Day one, I would certainly be looking over some of the books and the records. I would love to be able to dive into checking out some of the deeds and kind of following the suit that Jack Units has followed. Really finding where the problems have been in the county and finding a new and fresh way to go about them.
You're going to have 2 new county commissioners. You're hoping you and someone else.
Correct.
Come and the only Leo Kakunis is in there. His term, I guess, is another 2 years. Is it before?
Yes, it is.
Another 2 years. So Leo Kakunis is going to be the here I am. All right, here are the new guys. All right, what are we all going to do? That's going to be a whole different world for you, unless Mary Pat Flynn. She's running for re-election.
Correct. She could be.
If Mary Pat Flynn is re-elected, she'll be another county commissioner in there. And if Mark Forrest beats her, that'll be all. 2 out of 3 will be new.
Correct.
Is that good?
I think so. Yes, it is. Yep, that's what the county's needed. It does need a change. It needs somebody new in there. I'm a blue collar worker. That's what I represent. Right now I house clean. It's my business, and I work very hard. So I represent the other people out there, just like myself, that have worked very hard and through this heat. And God bless all of you guys out there that have worked like me in this hot weather. I was brought to tears a couple times. It was so hot.
It's a tough summer. I mean, beautiful summer for people, but tough for you.
Correct.
508-775-9985. Our toll-free phone number is 1-888-WXTK-951. Talking to Linda Bond. She's running for county commissioner, Republican running for county commissioner. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm Ed Lambert. I'll be back. Walt, what's going on? Back. 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. Very, very quickly. Let me try to explain this.
Yes.
There are 2 seats coming up for county commissioner, everybody. There are 4 people running for those 2 seats.
Yes.
Now, three's a crowd in the town of Yarmouth. In the town of Yarmouth, you and Mark Forrest both live in the town of Yarmouth.
Yes.
Ron Beatty, who's running, lives in the town of Barnstable. Mary Pat Flynn lives in Falmouth.
Yep.
Okay? You can't have a county commissioner, 2 county commissioners from the same town.
Yes.
So it's either going to be you or Mark Forrest that win.
Out of Yarmouth, correct.
Out of Yarmouth. You can't be both of you.
Correct. After everybody in the 15 towns votes, I hope to be the top vote getter to be in the running. If I am and Mark is the second, he doesn't have the top votes, he's automatically out, even if he has more votes than Ron or Mary Pat.
Because you can only have 1 county commissioner from a town.
Yarmouth.
Okay. So that's simple. All right?
Yes.
So you got to get out and vote, everybody.
Yes.
You're either going to vote for Linda or you're going to vote for Mark. One or the other. Get out and vote. It's very important. All right, 508. You got it. I guess that's squared away. 508-775-9985. Our toll-free phone number 1-888-WXTK-951. What part of this whole thing is about budget? It's about money.
Yep.
It's about getting money from the Registry of Deeds. All right, from the registry, what Jack does over there. It's all about getting money. Is there any way to cut back your budget so you don't get as much money?
Yes, to cut back our budget.
Yeah. So where does the Registry of Deeds money go if it doesn't go to you?
Well, no, it would be going to all the programs that the county oversees.
Which is to you.
Yes. Well, yes. We need.
There's no way to cut taxes.
There is ways to cut. They're finding different things that the county's been overspending money on. So there's where some cuts will come. I think that all the budgets that we oversee need to do some cuts. I think that's where they've done wrong. They should have said to everybody that comes forth. I talk to some of these directors every year. They bring their budget forth, and the commissioners go, okay. And the people are walking out of there saying, well, all right. I mean, they're even surprised that they're getting an okay on their budget, that they're not saying you need to cut something out of here. That's where I think they've done wrong. They haven't vetted these budgets. They may have said to these people, it's not time to hire that extra employee because this coming fiscal year we're not going to be able to give you your full budget that you're asking for.
So that's where the county runs into problems is they go to rainy day funds, or if they got this money over here, we can't be funding that. It's like having a credit card. If we don't have the dough, you can't spend it.
Right. And they've already spent, they had $2 million in the rainy day fund, which they spent.
Right.
And then they just raised the deed tax in order to balance the budget.
That's the key, is raising the deed tax or lowering the deed tax. One of those ways is that's how you control. If you're spending too much money, you can tell the voters, we just lowered the deed tax.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This is confusing.
I definitely would have voted against that deed tax going up. It was a 2-to-1 vote for the deed tax to go up.
Well, people had, as far as I'm concerned, the sitting commissioners, not all of them, but the city commissioners, from bringing this up over the past few years, had egg all over their faces on that whole budget thing and how it's costing us more money here in Cape Town.
Yes, yep. And they've spent, Leo Cocoon's put together a really good plan to, instead of paying for lawyers in Boston, let's bring our lawyers here, use the lawyers here. He had it all planned out. He had done great research homework, and the other two commissioners didn't even want to bring it to the table for discussion. They said no immediately. And I find that awful because, it's wrong. The public should have been able to hear that plan.
And decide on what you guys are going to do.
Correct. They didn't even bring it to a discussion because they have their mind made up, and money that shouldn't be spent.
508-775-9985, our toll-free phone number, 1-888-WXTK-951. You're talking about managerial, you talk about common sense, you're talking about business experience, bringing it to the background. That this really ain't about politics, it ain't about personalities, it's about how we're spending my money and your money out there in the Barnstable County. And we the people, I think that's more than anything else, is the only chance that we really have a saying thing is when we elect from our town, our assembly of delegate person, or when we elect on a county-wide basis, one or three of you guys. That's the only say we really have in Barnstable County finances.
Yep, exactly that. And that's what I'm trying to also educate to the people out there, is that everybody does have an assembly of delegate representative in their town, and that they can go to that person with an issue, and it can be brought to their discussion and brought to the commissioners. So that we do have a voice, and that's where I'm trying to educate people on that.
One of our listeners said, Ed, it's simply Barnstable County and other county governments are wrong, ineffective. It simply serves today as a drain on taxpayers. As you know, several counties have been done away with it, with no ill effects. Every single county service or operation could easily be done through the municipalities or are duplicates of services already available at the state level. All right, I would ask your guest, Linda Bond, why county government is still needed then.
Again, I think because we are so unique down here, we are a peninsula, we're pretty much an entity on our own, and we really need to keep it into our control. We don't want it to go up to Beacon Hill. Look at what they were already proposing here for the Cape from the state. They were going to change our signs along Route 6 and put the big, huge signs overpassing both lanes. I mean, that was ridiculous. We really want to keep the county unique, and we want to make all the decisions here. Again, we lost our welfare. If we were in control of our welfare here in the County of Barnstable, we could be knowing who shouldn't be getting the money. You talked about that yesterday, Ed, about, how do we even correct that? We lost control of that. I would have loved to have had control right now, so I could have dived into that to find out who shouldn't be on that.
Good enough. Linda Bond, good luck. How do people find out a little bit more about you?
My website is lindaabond.com. You can go on there, and it links you to my Facebook page, and I'd love for all of you to follow me.
Good enough. Linda Bond, good luck, by the way, on the running, and keep in touch.
Thank you very much for having me today, Ed.
You bet. We're going to be break for the news. I'm Ed Lambert. I'll be back.
Great. Awesome.